Hi, I'm Suzann Silverman, Editorial Director of Commercial Property Executive, and I'm here today with Manny Dominguez, who's the principal of the Hospitality Studio at Cooper Carey. Thanks for joining me.
We're happy to be here.
So we're talking today about hospitality design.
Okay.
Hospitality hotels have really been a leader in trends in the real estate industry, being so service-oriented and really experimenting with different things in competition with each other. So it's always particularly interesting for all the sectors, I think, to see what's going on in the hospitality area. So tell me about what some of the major design trends are now in hospitality and what the purpose is behind them.
So one of the major trends that we're seeing today is really how food and beverage is being handled from the brand standpoint. Traditionally, hotels had one designer that probably did the guest rooms and the corridors, the lobbies, and the restaurants. In bars, today you're seeing hotel companies having a very specific designer design the restaurant. They want to create more authentic experiences. They want to connect those projects more to the local environment, local cuisine, local, they want to get the local beers and they want to get that sort of experience for their hotel guests. So we're seeing a really big shift in that area. Obviously, food and beverage is a money maker in hotels. Historically, they weren't. Historically, you would see a hotel that had a 3-meal restaurant. You went there for breakfast, you might have gone there for lunch, and you seldom had dinner there. Now, today, they really are trying to create environments and destinations within the hotels themselves. Historically, hotels probably had one front door, and we always talk now that the hotels now have more doors. They really are trying to attract local customers. Hotel guests like to mix with the local people. It makes that experience a richer experience. So that seems to be a really big part of that memorable experience at a hotel. And it's part of the lobby is a very different space now. You're seeing hotel brands that no longer have the traditional front desk. Mobile check-in is becoming very popular. And people they're gaining more control of their hotel. They can decide what room they're going to be on, what floor, almost like picking a seat on an airline. And the whole lobby experience has really become it's less static. It's a much more dynamic living room. And you'll see the technology that goes into that so that people spend more time in the living room, socializing and really being a part of that community.
Mm-hmm. I understand you've been using virtual reality to...
Oh, yes, we are. And so we're excited about that. So we work on a platform called Revit, which is a BIM model. It's a basically building information model. And we have today architects are designing in 3 dimensions. Mm-hmm. The VR technology allows us to sort of really get an early look at the space. So traditionally, an architect would take 12 months to design a building. And at that point, the client and all the stakeholders they'll look at flat drawings and they might see a rendering. But with the VR, we're able to actually walk into the space as we're drawing the space, and we can really feel what the space is is it the right scale? Is it the right, are the things in the right place? So we're making a lot more real-time decisions on the design. We believe it's enhancing the design experience. We have clients that could be in another city and they'll ask me, what does it look like from the presidential suite overlooking the city? We can upload that model and they can have it in 10 minutes in their office and they can look at it on their own goggles. So we're both sharing the same story. It's the same story, the same model, and it's just been a great way to really communicate with our clients.
Wow, that's fascinating.
It is fascinating. It's something that we're doing every day, and every project is getting better. Our designs are getting much better because of that.
Tell me about one project where you've applied it.
Well, one good project was the project we're doing an 800-room Loews hotel in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. It's one of the first convention hotel projects since the late 80s. They haven't built a major hotel. This hotel has stunning views of the city, and we were able to capture that concept very early with the VR. So literally weeks into the project, everybody was on board with the concept. And it really helped us because we were able to notice very quickly in the model that maybe we need to move the escalators a little bit to the left. Maybe we need to make that window a little taller. And it really, we were able to see it like a person would see it in the future.
Mhm.
So it really changes the way you might approach design and how you might allocate materials on a project and what other things you can do to sort of enhance your design. It's almost like choreography on a stage. You really are, you're in that environment and you're pulling the design pieces in front of you to really make it part of that story that you're trying to tell.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Give me an example of one of your maybe most innovative designs that you've implemented.
One project that really stands out in my mind is the Cleveland Hilton Hotel.
Mhm.
It's a 600-room Hilton convention. It's a convention hotel. And it was part of the development on the mall, one of the malls in Cleveland, which was designed by Daniel Burnham back in 1908. And it was a very classical layout for the city, but we designed a very modern building, but it respected the historical lines. And the building has a very iconic bend on the facade. It actually bends outward. And we really wanted to create something iconic for the city, and it just turned out really nice. It was such a wonderful design. There's a rooftop bar, it's called Level 31.
Mhm.
And it overlooks Lake Erie. It's just a wonderful project, and it really brought a lot more attention to the city. It's a very modern building in a very historical context.